If there is one service in gaming that is an absolute abomination, it is PS Now. But somehow I've managed to find a PS Now fanboy, even though the service at its very core is a confused mess to the point if you try and play games through PS Now on PS5, you can't stream the PS5 version of the game or play the PS5 version of the game full stop. You have to play the games through cloud gaming on the service with the worst streaming technology available, and you have to play the games in the PS4 versions on PS5. PS Now at its core is an objectively bad service, and to make it clear, this wasn't due to an issue with Borderlands 3 or Marvel Avengers, but rather the fault was Sony's pathetic excuse of a service. I have no idea why anyone would bother to defend it when Sony killed OnLive to make a monthly subscription service to charge you for backwards compatibility on the PS4, because that was the initial point of the service, and now Sony has basically left it in the gutter with the PS5. So without further delay, I'll let the video play.
What's up, YouTube? I got a quick question to ask you. Do my opinion about PlayStation Now make me a fanboy?
Yes, claiming PS Now is the best value for money in gaming or even a half decent service is an objectively false statement. If you unironically believe in that, you are definitely a fanboy, since you are ignoring the facts of the situation in order to suck off a service. If that doesn't make you a fanboy, I do not know what does.
Because I say PlayStation Now is a better value, or I should say the best value in gaming. Does that make me a fanboy?
Absolutely yes.
And if so, does that make you a fanboy for saying Xbox Game Pass is the best value in gaming?
No, because that is an objective fact right now. There is no other service that provides the same level of quality and value as Game Pass. I don't see people unable to play Xbox Series X versions of games on xCloud because they can. And I don't see Xbox users being forced to use cloud gaming in order to play Xbox 360 games, unlike PlayStation users with PS Now.
My point in asking that question is, how can one's opinion determine who they are as a person?
What the fuck? Are you okay, my guy? Like, do you need help? Of course people's opinions define them. If that isn't the case, then I assume you wouldn't label someone as an incel if they had sexist opinions about women. Like what? What the fuck kind of dumbass rhetorical question is that? My man really thought he pulled some intellectual gotcha moment with that, and I don't know whether or not to laugh or feel bad for him.
If my opinion is that's just my opinion. As easy as you are to throw that label on me, I can easily throw that label on you because you're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing.
No, we aren't. What you are doing is ignoring all reality and making wild statements with no basis in reality. PS Now is an objectively bad service right now. That is a fact. Its value is basically nothing for PS5 users, and I'd go as far as saying even PS4 users shouldn't touch the service, due to the majority of the games only being available through playing them on the cloud gaming side of PS Now, which is the worst cloud gaming experience available right now. Xbox Game Pass fans aren't making stuff up when they say Game Pass offers the best value in gaming at the moment, because that is an objective fact. PS Now is not a good service. When you say it offers the best value in gaming, that is an objectively false statement, which is why people are labeling you as a fanboy when you say that, since you're ignoring the facts of the situation in order to suck off a service, aka PS Now.
The reason why I made this video is because I was going to do a comprehensive breakdown in the differences between PlayStation Now and Game Pass, and why I feel like PlayStation Now has the better value.
PS Now has not got the better value or quality. It isn't available on phones, it doesn't include EA Play, it forces you to play older titles via cloud gaming through the worst streaming technology available, because Sony is so uninvested in the service they make you play PS4 versions of games through it on PS5, unlike Game Pass that allows you to play the next gen versions of games. It's available in less countries than Game Pass, and for the PC version of PS Now you can only stream games, unlike with Game Pass, where they can be downloaded or streamed. PS Now is a fundamentally broken service that should honestly be completely redone from the ground up. And the most ironic thing about this is that PS Now is not competition for Game Pass, thanks to the fact it's a Microsoft run service, which is why most Sony ponies aren't dumb enough to bring it up. And that's really saying something about this guy. When people like JTech for the most part know to stay away from talking about the service, that should really tell you something.
But I, messed around, twiddled my thumbs too much, and I was beat to the punch by Mystic. Mystic actually did a video doing a full comprehensive breakdown from the small, tiniest details between both services.
He literally had an entire section of a Game Pass versus PS Now video dedicated to how PS Now could improve to match Game Pass, my guy. I have to start wondering if he's even watched Mystic's video. He brings up major issues with the service, like how the cloud gaming tech is terrible and that they desperately need to introduce PS5 server blades as well as support for PS5 game downloads. Also how if you want to continue your saves between PS Now's cloud side and native downloads, you need PS Plus to do that. He also brings up how Sony have said they won't be bringing first party games day and date to PS Now because it's quote unquote not sustainable, showing their complete lack of investment into the service.
And of course he didn't have his own opinion. Well, did he? I don't know. He's I don't know. I don't know how to explain Mystic, but regardless.
I mean, I found it pretty easy to explain his video, which you appeared to take out of context.
I think that looking at that video, it has the better value than Game Pass.
Did we watch the same video? Because my man literally talks about how PS Now needs to improve to match Game Pass consistently throughout the video.
We can argue availability and all of that stuff. We talking about right now, Game Pass does not have as good a value as PlayStation Now.
And your one example to prove this has so far disagreed with you for the most part. Just because you repeat yourself like a parrot, that doesn't mean you're right.
Because the games are new, makes it, launching day one in Game Pass makes it the better value.
For the majority of people, yes, and for myself, yes. Just look at Google Stadia. One of the biggest criticisms of the service when it came out was that it came out with games people had already played, and not the latest releases. Most people do not want to pay for a service to play older games, and this is also a very strange argument on your part, because Xbox Game Pass does offer a lot of older titles on it, and unlike PS Now, it covers both the old titles and the new titles coming out. That's one of the many reasons as to why it offers more value. It appeals to both the people who want to play older games and the people who want to play newer games or brand new games.
I don't know. That's subjective to me. I would rather have old games that's great than new games that's mediocre. I'm just saying. Just because the games are new launch games doesn't make Game Pass the better service. It just doesn't.
It inherently does, due to the service offering a cheap and affordable way to try out these new AAA or indie releases and see if they like them or not. If they don't, boohoo, they go play another game out of the 300 plus available. If they do, that's great. There's yet another game Microsoft has offered them that they enjoy, and all while saving them $60 on PC or $70 for console consumers. I'm sure most Xbox gamers love not having to spend $70 fucking on MLB The Show 21, and I know I sure as hell felt bad for the normal PlayStation users who had to spend $70 on a sports game because Sony refuses to properly invest in PS Now. And as Mystic pointed out, most of these AAA games that do come to PS Now quickly fall out of the service because Sony can't be asked to put enough investment into the service to get them contracted into the service for a decent amount of time like Microsoft is.
Well, majority of their games that launches on day one on Game Pass isn't all that great.
Just like how the majority of games that release outside Game Pass aren't good, and just like how most games on PS Now aren't deemed good. But either way, why the fuck is this man visibly and audibly on the verge of tears over Game Pass being objectively better than PS Now? For someone who quote unquote isn't a PlayStation fanboy, you sure are getting very emotional about your favourite service not being held above its better competitor.
Not to mention all of the padding that they do in Game Pass. The padding in Game Pass is insane, and you're paying more money for the padding. For the services, but they padding it.
And again, for someone who quote-unquote isn't a fanboy, you sure do seem a little too emotionally invested in this. And it's amazing how he doesn't realise that PS Now is also quote-unquote padded, but as usual, he's got the fanboy logic of rules for thee but not for me.
So the money you're actually spending on games you will not play.
No, I'm paying for the games that I will play. No one is looking at a service for games they don't want to play. And if Game Pass doesn't have the games people wanted to play, then it wouldn't have been such a huge success for Microsoft.
I don't feel like paying $180 a year for Game Pass just to play games day one a necessary purchase. When I could get the game, day one and not have to spend nowhere near as much money.
Whatever this dude's smoking, I want it. In no world do you have to subscribe to Game Pass for a full year, and even still, are you seriously trying to claim that you won't spend over $180 on games that come to Game Pass, when that's the cost of only 3 AAA titles? Because if you are unaware, 3 times 60 is 180. And if you need evidence for that, since it is you, I'll put a screenshot of my calculator up so you are fully able to comprehend basic math. Even though you really shouldn't need a calculator to figure out 3 times 60 as a grown-ass man.
$60 for a new game. 2 games, $120. How often do these new releases that you're gonna play hit Game Pass?
Very frequently. And in total, of all the announced games coming to Game Pass this year that I would have bought if they weren't on Game Pass, they would have cost me £230. And that's only what I would have spent on brand new games that are either coming out later this year or came out 3 days ago, in the case of Humankind.
Just because a new game hit Game Pass doesn't mean it's a game that you want to play. Because if I'm actually subscribed to Game Pass right now, and I don't even want to touch Psychonauts. It's going to Game Pass day one, and I could give a crap about a Psychonauts. I could care less. So what?
Same, Forza come after that. Okay, out of all of those games, Forza's the only one that I'm willing to I wouldn't subscribe to Game Pass for, but I definitely will play day one.
Okay, so you save money in Forza Horizon 5 through Game Pass, because if it wasn't for the service, you would have paid $60 for it instead of being able to get it for far less through 1 month of Game Pass. Because unless you were going to be playing that game for more than 4 months, which at that point you'd have paid the same amount for the game as buying it, and this line of thought purely depends on your deluded idea of only subscribing to Game Pass for 1 game. But even still, you can get a discount off of games available in Game Pass if you are subscribed to the service. So there's another route of saving money thanks to Game Pass if you are adamant about buying games.
But is it worth subscribing to a service for when I can just buy it? And if I wait, realistically, if I wait 2 or 3 months later, I catch it on sale.
And it's unlikely for the game to be available for less than $15, my guy. Also, with Game Pass, you don't have to wait for a sale, because you get discounts on all games that are available on the service if you want to buy them.
No. On top of that, in order for me to play online, I have to pay for Ultimate. So I have to get the $180 version. You know what I'm saying? Just to play online.
This is just about the only thing I can somewhat agree with. However, with PS Now, where you don't have to pay for online games for games on the service, you still have to pay for PS Plus for games off of the service, unlike with Game Pass Ultimate, and have to pay for PS Plus to transfer your PS Now saves to your native downloads. Oh, and once again, I would like to remind you that in no way, shape or form do you have to pay for Game Pass all year round.
I don't see the value in Game Pass like everybody else do. I don't see it. I see value. When I think of value, I'm thinking of something that you're getting for cheap. You're getting like bang for your buck. That's what you're getting. So with Game Pass, you get like 400 games, almost 400 games, and you're paying $180 a year. Because let's be real, you're gonna need to play online. So you're gonna get the Ultimate. There's no way around that. So you paying $180 a year for 400 some games, not to mention the padding that's in there. We talking about the EA game stuff.
EA Play isn't padding. Those are games people wanted to see in the service. And it adds a shit ton of, as you put it, bang for your buck to Game Pass. Because there's a whole other service added to Game Pass at no additional cost. If that isn't insanely good bang for your buck to you, then you must be on the good shit. Whoever the dealer is for PlayStation fanboys must be supplying them with a new type of drug that no one has ever seen before.
The several Maddens and FIFAs in there. The several NBA Lives, the multiple UFCs in there. You know what I'm saying? You got UFC 3 in there. Who's playing UFC 1? You got Madden 21 in there. Who's playing Madden 15?
Certainly no one using Game Pass because UFC 1 and Madden 15 both aren't on Game Pass. Also, there aren't quote-unquote several NBA lives on Game Pass either. There's fucking 2 total NBA games on Game Pass, and 1 NBA live game. And I'm not going to waste time on the other nonsense he spewed. At this point, I honestly doubt he's even subscribed to the service, to be honest.
And you got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 in there. Maddens.
Bro, all it would have taken to verify what you're saying would have been to use the search bar on Game Pass. Something PS Now on PC unironically doesn't have. I mean, for fuck's sake, even Stadia has a search bar now.
If you're really trying to save money. Because you're not saving money dropping games and getting games out of playing games day one in Game Pass or subscribing to a service for those day one games in Game Pass. You're not saving no money. What the heck? But with PlayStation Now, you got 400 games that's downloadable. I mean, you're getting way more money for $60 a year.
But bro, it's all padding. You won't play 99% of the games on PS Now, so you're just getting scammed, bro. You aren't saving no money because it's all padding. Nah, but in all seriousness, this delusion purely relies on idiocy and the idea that you have to pay for Game Pass all year round. There's also, as I proved earlier, far less features and far more fundamental problems with PS Now compared to Game Pass. You pay less yearly because it's of lower quality.
Let's be real. Majority of people that's crusading for Game Pass are Xbox console gamers.
Did this man forget that Game Pass is on PC and phones as well? Unlike PS Now, which is only on PC in cloud gaming form, and isn't available on smartphones because it's everyone, including a lot of PlayStation fans, pushing Game Pass right now, not just Xbox users. But hey, I'm sure this totally not PlayStation fanboys just coincidentally pushing the same ideas PlayStation fanboys do, about only Xbox fanboys pushing Game Pass, even though that's blatantly and provably false.
And there's not, is there? No, it's not. There's no padding. I haven't seen any padding in PlayStation Now. And believe me, I got both. I got PlayStation Now and I got Game Pass. I've seen them both.
That's a load of bullshit. You couldn't even use the search bar to find out if games you were mentioning when it comes to quote-unquote padding were on Game Pass. But hey, I shouldn't expect anything else from a PS Now fanboy, considering how it doesn't have a search bar on PC. The amount of pure delusion you have to think there's no padding in PS Now's, for the most part, shitty and outdated library is insane.
And I have streamed PlayStation Now, and it's playable.
Even the biggest PlayStation fanboys I've seen have admitted to the fact that PS Now streaming quality is dog shit and that the service is bad. It has some of the highest input latency out of all cloud gaming services, and it consistently will have streaming hitches as well as compression issues that you rarely see in other cloud gaming services.
It's not awful like everybody want to make it seem like. It's not awful. If it was that awful, believe me, it wouldn't be around. It's not awful. Maybe your internet's trash.
God guys, just look at my terrible internet. It is truly trash. I mean, I'm not trying to flex, but my guy, my internet ain't even close to trash.
Well, I'm not saying Xbox Game Pass isn't quality. I didn't say that at all.
Then what the fuck was the point in claiming it's just full of padding? Like bro, come on, try a little harder if you're gonna be bullshitting.
I think both of them got value to the right person. It does. And who am I to say, which one is more valuable besides, speaking on my own opinion? I'm not going to definitively say like a lot of you guys do.
At least make it a little challenging for me.
It's better value. No. I think PlayStation Now is a better value, not PlayStation Now is a better value.
This man has to be on some good shit, to be honest.
Even though I'm going to title the video, PlayStation Now is a better value.
And you've made that argument for the vast majority of the video apart from this tiny part of it.
But anyways, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. PlayStation Now has the better value.
But I thought you said you weren't going to be making that statement in the video, my guy.
For $60 a year, I get to play over 800 games. And those games are not padded. You don't see multiple Maddens in there, multiple FIFAs in there.
Nah, you just get the quote-unquote padding of Farming Simulator and F1 games. Like, come on, how can you make it so goddamn fucking easy for me to debunk your arguments? With your own logic as well. I'm sure people are really going to be playing NBA 2K18 in 2021.
With Game Pass, you got you got 300 games, over 300 games, right? It's nowhere near 800, but you're paying $180 a year.
Because there's more features, the games will last longer on the service, they're adding Xbox exclusives day and date, they're bringing third-party games day and date, they allow you to download games on PC, allow you to play on your smartphones, and more. Game Pass Ultimate costs more than PS Now because it's of high quality. I mean, goddamn, PS Now doesn't even have a fucking search bar on PC.
As a matter of fact, to be fair, $120 a year. Let's just do that, I guess. Can I do that? Nah, I can't do that. Because PlayStation Now ain't forcing me to have the online. They're just not. Because though you can actually play PlayStation Now online games for free. Online. You don't need PlayStation Plus to play PlayStation Now online games.
Yes, but you also have to pay for PS Plus on top of that for any games that aren't on the service, aka all the new AAA and indie games coming out in the next few years, unlike with Game Pass Ultimate, which allows you to play online games that aren't on the service because it includes Xbox Live Gold, unlike PS Now, which restricts you to games on the service.
And just because a game is day one doesn't mean that's a game you're going to want to play.
Yeah, it does actually. If a game is coming day and date to Xbox Game Pass, I'm going to try it out. And if I like it, I'll continue to play it. If I don't, I'll go play another game on the service. Because guess what? I'm not a narcissistic asshole. And I know that not every game added to Game Pass has to be tailored to me specifically.
And I see more value. I get more bang for my buck. For $60, was essentially nothing. Essentially, that is nothing. What, like $3? What? I ain't even did the calculation. Like $3 a month?
Jesus Christ, this guy can't even do basic math. 60 divided by 12 is 5, not 3.
Anyways, that's all I want to say. 13 minutes, almost 14. That's all I want to say, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Trolls, I'm ignoring you. You come with that BS, man, I mean blocking and ignoring all that garbage. You better come correct, or I will deal with you. Rome, I'm gone.
Translation, anyone who disagrees with him will be quote-unquote dealt with. Now we've finally reached the end of that Fanboys video, so with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Discord server, follow me on Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe. So I'll see you all in the next video.